Hi everyone, it's gonna be reading on how others perceive you when they're dying or how they will recall you. Using the Mother Peace Tarot deck. The first pile I just chose pictures that popped up first on my Pinterest board. So the first pile is gonna be this girl laying in the dirt or the grass or the woods. The second pile is gonna be this ethereal looking astral city or city in the clouds. Olympus type. I don't know. Olympus wouldn't be as cool as this. Sorry, my people who are into Greek mythology. And third pile, gonna be this bunny holding a little teddy bear. Hi, pile one. If you chose the girl laying in the grass, it's gonna be a reading on how others will recall you as they're dying. You know, it's said that when people die, they reveal their true colors, or at least when they're in the process of dying, if they have like a chance to like think back on everything. So this is really just going to apply to the people in the future who are going to be like having a moment to look back on their life when they die, and you know what they might think about you as you pass through their mind. So let's see. Pile one. How people are going to recall you upon their death. Spirit, give me some energy. We have the Ace of Discs. So immediately what's is just the baby basket. Not even the fact that this person is a child, it's just like the baby basket in particular feels important. And this rug that this person is sitting on. I'm feeling like maybe there was a particular room or home or of some sort where somebody maybe grew up with you or raised you, and that place is going to be very important to them as they're dying. Like they have a lot of memories there, or they're really fond of the memories there, of them maybe seeing you grow up, or y'all growing up together. Someone's definitely going to be like looking back on you as a baby, and I'm feeling like really just, cherishing those memories. Like nothing else to it, just like cherishing those memories as they pass them by. Really taking it in. When people look back on you, I feel like they're gonna feel a strong sort of connection to you for some reason. Like it feels like all the people looking back on you when they die are like realizing how connected to you they felt, or not even that, but just like how connected y'all were, like how connected y'all's lives were. Yeah, I keep getting like a rug or a blanket, like a bed of some sort, where like you sat a lot in as a child with maybe your friend or your sibling or your guardian, and they just like really place a lot of importance on those memories of like that particular item. That's only for some of you though. I'm also seeing like an ornament. Like this kind of looks like an ornament. So there's something about like Christmas, literally, like I feel like people are going to recall the sort of safety they felt with you, like they felt this sort of warmth around you. Or like, you know, when you go somewhere and you just don't feel right, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like you can be yourself. But like sometimes in other places, when you're with people you love or with people you trust, you just feel like you can relax, you know? Like you're safe. Like that's how people feel around you, is like they can relax, like they're safe with you. And that's how they look back on their memories with you, is just like the sense of comfort, the sense of childlike wonder. Maybe that's why I'm getting this Christmas vibe, is it's like there's only a few people who remember having Christmas with you, but maybe those Christmases were really important to y'all. But for others of you, it's just when people look back on their memories with you as they're dying, it's like, yo, we're always on holiday, you know, like whenever y'all would spend time with each other, it's just like joking and having fun and being able to let loose and just be children together, you know, or be in touch with their inner child. There's also this energy of people recalling you like being in the woods with them, or like having visions of y'all walking through the woods in y'all's past life as they're recalling their memories with you in their death. Because there's 5 little pine cones here. There's a little leopard. I'm feeling like people are gonna, when they're dying, they're gonna be a little bit more like aware of their spirit in like just their spirit without having to think about their body, like like through the filter of their body. They'll be a lot just more aware of their spirit itself. And in that manner, I'm feeling like they will be more able to see the more spiritual side of their life. And I feel like when it comes to them looking back on their memories with you, they see all of it as really spiritual, as in like really connected to past lives, really growth oriented. Like I keep looking at this leopard and thinking like y'all were leopards together. Like y'all could like get in touch with your magic or your subconscious self or whatever, and y'all could show that to each other. So maybe like people are looking back on memories with you where like y'all did magic together, y'all like got in touch with each other's subconscious or something. And it's just like this energy, we all understood each other on a soul level. So maybe you'll have like some soul family who's looking back on y'all's bonds as they're dying, and they're just like seeing how far back y'all go. There's this energy where people, when they look back on you and they're dying, their memories are sort of like almost like they're all happening at once, and so they can't really focus on the details too much. So during like their life, when they would hang out with you, like they wouldn't notice this about you, but as they're looking back on their memories with you, they notice this sort of feline beauty about you that's like almost animalistic. But yeah, It's just your movements. Like, they can't hear your words as they're looking back on their memories with you, but it's your movements and your expressions with your eyes. It's just like they notice that about you as they're looking back on their memories. I'm seeing that a lot of people who are going to be like remembering you as they're dying are also going to be dying in a way where they are like finally they're not unsatisfied with their death. Like, they're able to accept, they're in a place where they're able to accept their death, you know? It's not like a bad karmic death, if that makes sense. Or they're not in a mind space where they're focusing on karma and stuff like that. They're more in their inner child and just trying to, like, I don't know, soak in all the memories. They're not really like fighting it or rejecting it. I feel like thinking about memories about you in particular helps the people who are dying and thinking about you, like, accept that they're dying. I don't know if that makes sense, but like something about the memory of you just like makes them feel okay with it. Let's get some more energy. Just one more card is fine. We have the Fool. I like these cards because there's just so much going on. Moon river, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you inside. I don't want to risk that song by Frank Ocean, Moon River. But some people might like remember you in the moonlight, remember you swimming, like going swimming with them. Maybe you're more yourself when you're going out in nature like that with your friends or whoever, or the people you love. And like you just have fond memories with people at the beach or on the river or just on the water. And that's what people remember. There's just this energy where you have this like fun, childlike, what's the word for when you have energy, you have life inside you. I don't know. It's like when the people are looking back on you and they're just like, you fill me up with laughter, and there's like this bubbling up of laughter of like memories. They can hear all the laughter that y'all shared together. People are gonna definitely cry if they're remembering you while they're dying. I mean, I don't know who doesn't cry when they're like sitting there realizing they're dying and they're looking back on everything, but I'm feeling like people really love you. I don't know, when they just like, I feel like when they're dying, they're like, oh, I'm gonna miss them, but I'm also just happy that I got to have them in my life, you know? People felt like you were a fool, but they also felt like they got to act a fool with you. Maybe you took shrooms with some people and they're remembering that, or took acid or something. Because these fungi are really like staring, you know. If you have a cat, your cat's gonna be thinking about you when you die. Your cat feels connected to you on a spiritual level, so they just feel comforted by the thought of you. They're just like, yep. Some of you might have lived in Florida. I don't know where I got that, but something about where you lived in Florida, or who you lived with, or the things that happened in Florida are going to be significant when people are thinking about you when they die. Or living in the mountains for some of you. It was the mountains, not Florida. Yeah, there's just this overall energy of acceptance. I don't know what it is, but like, either people really just accept the time they had with you or the memories they had with you, and like the fact that that's all they're gonna get because now they're dying, or maybe they just feel more able to accept their death now that they like have like looked back on their whole life and they've like seen the things that they've done with you. Maybe you were the type of person to like reassure them during in life about like mortality and stuff like that. Maybe it wasn't even that, but like maybe it wasn't you like talking to them, reassuring them, or it was just them in their head like feeling reassured by your presence. Because it's like, you know sometimes when you get this feeling like you're alone and no one understands you and you just don't see how anyone could ever like see you on that level where you could feel seen. But then you find someone and you do feel seen, and it feels like, I don't know, you just found your place in life, or you've like found a spot where you can like just be there, you know? And it feels right. Like that's how people feel about you, is just like, I don't know. I don't know, Pile One. Yeah, but looking back on you, all the memories are really bright, almost painfully bright in a way that like there will be a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of longing to go back just to live it one more time. I think death is so special for everyone because it makes them realize just how special their life was, you know? And that's why people always, or that's why usually you can get emotional if you like have time to look back on it. I mean, but that all depends on the memories you have to look back on when you die, you know? And I'm feeling like for some reason, people's memories with you, like, that's like a piece, like over their whole life that was like, this makes it okay, you know? This is something I can be happy when I look back on. This is something that makes me feel like I was meant to live. And so it's okay to die because I meant something while I was alive. You know? And not everyone gets to feel that way. And it's not like you're the only thing, you know, but you're one of those things. You're one of those like little pieces of sunshine that people can hold on to as they slip away. Pile 2, let me just say from my experience with Pile 1 that like this reading is sad. It's so sad tapping into people's energy while they're dying. It's like, oh, so nostalgic. And when it comes to you guys who are watching these readings, people looking back on you and recalling you, they're always so like mystified. I don't know. It just gives me this energy of such longing, such beautiful longing, and it's so dramatic. But I love it. It's kind of cool. I don't know. But this year picture Pile 2. This kind of looks like heaven. Like, I don't know. Everyone imagined heaven differently, but I don't know if y'all have seen all dogs go to heaven. But I don't know why it's not focusing. I'm gonna keep holding it up till it focuses. There it goes. It's like how tall the buildings are make it look almost post-apocalyptic in a way, but the colors make it look ethereal and angelic. So that's interesting. Alright. Connect me power to energy spirit. How are people going to be thinking about power to when they're looking back on them when they die? How are they going to be thinking about them? We have some 8 of Wands energy. So it's just a lot. There's a lot that's going to be going on in people's minds when they're dying and thinking about you. I'm feeling like the people who know you, who are going to be having time to look back on their life as they're dying, are really going to be overthinking their death. They're just having a lot of time to think, because there's a lot of thoughts. But the thoughts themselves are very intense. They're also very intense. Like, look at this energy. Look at this orange. This shade of orange. That is some intense energy, okay? This is a little dramatic, but for some of you, people might be seeing you as like an angel guiding them through their death or whatever. You probably won't even actually be doing that. It's just how they see their memories with you. Specifically for some of you because you're an artist, but not for all of you. For some of you, it's just the people you love seeing you that way. There's a little bit of regret coming through. Some of the people thinking about you as they die are going to be like really upset because they're going to be missing you or missing what they had with you, and just like my throat chakra is burning. Like they really had some things they wanted to say to you before they died, and they, because this 8 of Wands is literally like shooting your shot and speaking and just doing it, and they're looking back on their memories with you and they're like, I didn't do it. Or maybe for some of you, like some people like did shoot their shot, but they did it in a way that was like careless or aimless, and they're looking back and they're like, I wish I would have like been true to my heart. I wish I would have like not been afraid. So that's coming through, but I'm feeling like that's just a couple of regretful people, you know. You had a deep connection with everyone in your life, like just not deep but passionate. Like you're a person with a lot of passion and energy, or just affects people in a way that like makes them feel passionate about you, or just passionate about their friendship with you. There's just, people take you really serious. When they're looking back on you, they're just like looking back on all these memories, like, yeah, like maybe y'all went through some really deep shit together, or maybe you were always being real or something, and you're just, they're like seeing that realness for what it is now that they're dying, and they're like, God damn, like that was really real. I'm feeling like some of your actions are psychic in a way, and that they're going to make a lot more sense to people during their death. Like they didn't make sense during the life, but when they're dying, they're like, oh, I understand pile 2 now. Whoa. I just got a message. Some of you, as they're dying, they're going to be realizing and accepting and knowing that they're dying because of their karma for you, for what they did to you. Because they just let it snowball, and they never resolved that. And it kept coming back to them in different ways. And they're like, it took death for them to finally realize, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do this karmic cycle again in my next life. Maybe this time I'll get it. Like, you had a soul contract with someone who was supposed to change in a certain way or close out a karmic cycle, and they didn't. So it kind of like made your soul contract like unbalanced because they didn't fulfill the contract. So you're going to be meeting this person in the next life for sure. And if not that, you're going to be receiving a lot of good karma from what this person took from you in your next life. I don't know why I just got all that. Like, that was a bunch of random bullshit, but let's just get some more energy up in here, because this Eight of Wands is eluding me. Spirits, give me that info. I'm hearing, I don't know how you went through all that. Maybe like someone did something to you where they're like looking back on their memories with you and their death, and they're like, I don't know how you went through all that. Or maybe you went through something and like you told this person, or this person was witness to events in your life that were really tragic, and they're just like looking back on those memories with you, and somehow you were so strong, and they were like, I don't know how you went through that. Ten of Swords. Swords. I'm just gonna hold it up for a little bit, cause look at all those ladies. Look at all those swords. There's a lot going on. I knew Ten of Swords was gonna come out because there's just so much going on with this energy, with these people's thoughts going everywhere. So first of all, gonna be a lot of people recalling you during their death. A lot of people. People ranging from vengeful to hateful, people who didn't even know you, people who knew you a little too much, and then all the way to people who loved you so dearly they couldn't even stand it. Like, there's just a range. That's probably why I'm getting so much energy. Let's see. For some of you, there's like a particular person who really loved you and is really gonna like I don't know the language for this, but they're gonna feel you surrounding them as they die. Like, that's how they're gonna experience their death, is like you surrounding them, and then they feel comfortable to die because this person loves you very much, whoever this is. That's not gonna resonate for all of you. This might be a future spouse of some sort if you can't think of someone right now who might feel that way towards you. There's just some people whose lives revolved around you that you maybe didn't even know. And they're going to be thinking about you when they die. Is just like, not even thinking about you, but their projection of you from their own subconscious, because they were letting you be their sort of mirror their whole life. Again, with this, like, people are seeing you as godlike during their death energy, like larger than life, larger than death energy. I don't know what it's about, but people are going to be experiencing their memories with you like that as they die. They're like, oh, pile 2 knew. They knew all this was going to happen. They were planning it all along, or they were just like, wow, pile 2's so smart. They were able to tap into the, I don't even know. It's like, for real, like, people are experiencing you as like otherworldly during their death, as if you're affecting their death somehow by just being in their memories. Like, you're changing how they perceive their own death just by having lived in their life. There's a lot of people who's gonna regret that they're dying because they want more time with you. They're like, they just want more time with you. They want more time with you. They want more time with you. When people look back on you when they're dying, they're seeing you as this person who's just like not caring, very accepting of death, very accepting of life. Maybe that's why they see you this angel godlike energy, because just like you're yourself both in and out of life, and you're not afraid of it, and they're latching on to that for some reason. Maybe instead of being unafraid of death, you actually like would be the type of person to dive straight into it, and you've always had that sort of attitude your whole life. Maybe that's why people are seeing you this way during their death. There's like, oh, now I understand pile 2's energy. Like, now I see where they're coming from. Damn. Yeah, you have a connection to some sort of divinity that some people don't even experience until their deathbed. So that's why people are recalling you like that. I also see that people are recalling like all the pain they ever caused you, or just all the situations that happened with y'all in y'all's life that was just like just life happening to y'all. And they're just like, damn, what a trip, man, or like, that was a crazy life, or just like, that was a whole lifetime. Like, it's just so impactful. Like, something about your memories with people is just like, I can't believe all of that happened. Yeah, one more card. Why not? Why not pile 2? Oh, we have the Ace of Cups here. So with all of this overwhelming energy with this Eight of Wands and this Ten of Swords, I'm kind of surprised that the Ace of Cups came out last. Flying. There's something definitely particular about the ocean with you. Yeah. Seeing the ocean hardcore. When people recall their memories with you, they recall like how emotionally open you were, or like how much you opened them up emotionally. in a way that just felt infinite, like it had infinite potential. For some of you, people are recalling your singing voice or the beauty of your singing voice. And they're like, oh, I know that their art is going to last for eternity. This is very specific, but something about geese, or a story you wrote about geese, or an experience you had with geese with another person. Like literally geese, these two geese. Oh yeah. Someone's gonna be recalling that about you when they die. It reminds me of the story by Ali Brosh, where her and her husband were like in their house or something, and like a goose just randomly like came out of the kitchen, and then I think they tried to drive away, but then the goose was in the backseat of the car. No, they started out with the goose in the backseat of the car, and then they went home and they realized it was in the kitchen. I don't know, bro, but I can imagine remembering that story when I die, just because of how much that story was like got to me. I don't know. I do recommend Ali Brosh though. Shout out to Ali Brosh. Some of you are writers. People want to remember your words. Not even just the whole book, but like your specific words. Some specific stuff you said. Gonna be hitting them when they die. They're like, yeah, you're right, bro. Poetry. Yeah, your poetry really hits during people's deaths. And for some of you, by poetry, I mean love. You're bussy, be entrancing people, bruh. When they're dying, they're like, damn, I just wish I could get that one last time. I'm sorry, that was a little inappropriate. People be pretty inappropriate when it comes to you. Because I'm not usually the type of person to say that kind of shit. But this just be on these people's minds, okay? But yeah, people just saw you as larger than life. Or like really in tune with yourself or spiritual energies. They're like, yeah. And it's almost like as they're dying, they're like, I can understand Pile 2 now, because like they're looking back on their memories with you and they're not taking it as seriously, and they're kind of seeing it from your point of view of like, I don't know. There's this weird energy where like a lot of people like are like, now I can see from Pile 2's point of view as they're dying. Like a lot of people were like forcing themselves not to see from your point of view until they died or something. Like, okay. They were like, I'm not gonna do this. And it literally took death to push them to like be like, oh, I get it now. So dramatic. Yeah. People are finally seeing you for who you truly are when they die. They're like, or at least some people are finally seeing you for who you truly are. Because they're looking back on their memories with you and they're not being as judgmental, and they're actually like listening to what you have to say. For some people, like, the memory of you and their death is like a soothing balm. It's just like, yeah, I get this. I keep feeling like water all around me and like going down my throat and shit. So like maybe someone's gonna be drowning when they're dying and they're thinking about you. And I wouldn't be too alarmed about that because I keep feeling like this acceptance, like finally letting go and just letting their body go through the movements of drowning, but like accepting it. And it's almost like this energy where there's just like relief of just being able to accept it, and it's this weird feeling because like all this water is like pushing against them, the pressure, and it's like entering their body, and it's so weird and invasive, but they're like accepting it. And so even though they're experiencing it and they're like, this should feel horrible, they're like, it's okay because I'm dying, it's okay. And it's like something about their memories with you is like ties that all together. They're like, it's okay, and they let go. And they just let themselves drown. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this bunny rabbit, it's gonna be reading on how people are gonna perceive you when you die, or when they die. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a video on how people will perceive you when you die. Spirit, give me pile 3's energies. Just pile 3. I didn't ask a question yet. Spirit, let me know what people are going to be thinking about pile 3 as they die. How are they going to be recalling pile 3? So the people who are going to be dying, think about you. They're going to be a little freaked out, a little panicked. They're like, I got to pull myself together because I can't just panic through my whole death. I need to savor these last moments. And they're a little panicked about that because they're like, I need to stop panicking. I need to savor these last moments. But they're like, okay, pull it yourself together. And they focus on looking back on their life. We have the sun. If you were a teacher, your children, your children and your students, your class people, they're going to be thinking about you. The children you taught, you really impacted them. And I feel like when they die, they're going to look back on you. They're just going to look back on you. They're going to be happy that you were in their life and that you taught them, Nothing more than that. People are going to look back on you extremely fondly, or in a way that is like unfiltered, very pure, not tainted by like regret or hate or blame or doubt. Just pure fondness, appreciation. Like, damn, I'm smiling because it happened, bro. Like, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. People are smiling because they're like, I got no reason to cry. Pile 3 was in my life. They look back on their memories with you and they're like, death, I can get through that. Yeah, damn. So maybe maybe during people's death, they're like seeing how connected you are to animals. That's only for some of you, but like, yeah. Whether you took care of animals or whether you have like a spiritual connection to animals. Someone's going to be remembering you on the beach or remembering their time together with you on the beach. Because a bunch of these bitches be wearing swimsuits. Or going to a concert with you of some sort. Lollapalooza? That's only for some of you. Like, does that even exist anymore? Okay. What people be recalling about pile 3 as they die, huh? Calm down. Have 7 of Wands. Ooh, the energy in this card go crazy. I just feel like I don't know. People really liked their memories with you. Maybe you made people feel really pumped, or they really like dancing with you, the way you dance, or the way you talk, the way you express yourself. People feel like a party around you. Or they just feel like maybe you were a lot of people's like leader in the friend group or whatever. So you weren't even mean about it or anything. You were just like being there for people. Yeah. People were remembering all these victories with you, all these triumphs they had with you. Like, there's like this energy where y'all were like fighting against a greater cause. And sometimes people felt like alone in that, and sometimes people felt like they didn't have anyone. But for some reason, you like made them feel better about it. You made them feel like they could fight for themselves, and that's how they were calling you when they die. For some reason, I want just like a lot of cards on this reading. I'm like, give me more cards. These cards are just so immaculate right now. Spirit, what else people be recalling about my pile 3? You want to see these cards. They're so pretty. Eight of Disc. People recall you as someone who made them feel very connected to their roots, very connected to the earth, very connected to their sense of hype, I guess. Like, it reminds me of that song I Miss the Rage. Like, for some of you, you worked with fabric or clothing, or tapestries or rugs of some sort. Some people are recalling that about you. Or the clothes you wear. There's maybe you've worn some really striking outfits, or you're the type of person who really shows off through their clothing, and people are remembering that about you when they die, like how much you wowed them or the impact you had on them with your sensuality. People recall you as a very wise person, someone who's been around the bend and knows how to, like, make the most of it. I keep hearing XOXO, so, like, it's almost like someone's closing out a letter to you as they're dying. They're like, and I love you so much, and I'm glad I knew you, XOXOXOXOXO. Like, that's how they're thinking about you as they die. Some people miss your cooking. They're gonna miss your cooking. I don't know why. Like, it's that deep, but they're like, ugh, I just wish I could have one more bite. Okay, one more card. Okay, pile 3. How are people going to recall you when you die? Or when they die? When they die, how are they going to recall you? The world. The world and the sun here is very significant. Because these two energies together are very significant. There's a feeling of wholeness and completeness in people's memories as they look back on you. You made people feel more whole and complete, even in just a small way. There's this high priestess energy where you made people feel more understanding and accepting of their spiritual side, or literally more connected to that part of them and their culture. Maybe you're a very cultural person and you're passionate about, like, being connected to that, or being connected to those sort of, like, traditions. I'm hearing I see the world in you. So, like, these people looking back on you as they die, they're, like, seeing how everyone in the world connects, and they're just, like, it's like they see you in everyone. There's something about the way you dance that reminds them of the dance that the whole world dances together. Or the song that you sing in your heart that everyone dances to. Like, those are the type of thoughts they're going to be thinking, is like that poetic shit, but also like deep realization through that poetry. If you have children, they recall you very fondly when they die. You did everything a parent should have. You made them feel more secure. You made them feel safe in the world. And that's on real shit. That's some real shit right there. Yeah, you made them feel like they got to be able to be a kid. Maybe you adopted someone, or are going to adopt someone later in the future. People are remembering, like, being in a community with you or being in the workplace with you was really impactful for them. Or the work that they did with you, like the work that y'all did together in the world. And what that means. Because it's almost like y'all weren't just doing it for nothing. Y'all weren't just doing it to be productive. Y'all were, like, sending a message. And that's gonna like keep ringing long after you're gone. Yeah, people are gonna be like looking back on you during the death, like everything comes together. And Pile 3 knew that. Pile 3 is the embodiment of that. It's like they see you as like, I don't know. It's like they see you as another piece of the world when they die. Like another thing that they have to let go of. But it's almost like because of that, it makes them less afraid because they're like, the whole world has to die and has to let go of the whole world, you know? Like everyone has to go through that. Everything has to go through that. Even you, Pile 3, and they're like, even Pile 3 is gonna go through this. And so they're just like, I don't know. It feels almost like letting go and dying also means latching on and falling into you. It's like they realize that dying means like they realize that in their death they don't have to be afraid because of who they were in life with you. Or whatever your friendship meant to them, whatever your relationship meant to them. It makes them feel like they can let go of everything because they don't need it. Whatever you taught them, whatever you gave them made them realize just how much they truly don't need that, and they are able to let go of everything, even including their own ego, even when they're terrified. It's like the memory of you washes that fear all away.